All right, so in the last video, I showed you these boxes I got, the 2014 and the 2012. Just want to show you a little bit more about these. So in the boxes, you get these kind of like stands, I guess you would use to advertise these back in the day. And then I mentioned that each box comes with 100 packs, and they come in these 10-pack flows. So I just wanted to show that. So you get 10 of those in a box, which is pretty cool. So this seller also included some single cards in here, and these weren't a gift, obviously. I bought these, but really excited about these cards. And I just wanted to walk you through what I bought here. I'll start with the Kohlis. There's not a lot of these over here, but this is a special card that I didn't have. Limited edition Kohli. You can see the back. It's a little different. So a couple of Kohlis there, and then some base 2013s. This Sachin collection is pretty cool. So I had not had almost any of these. I mean, obviously the cricket Attax aside, there's some Pepsi toss in here. There's all kinds of really neat cards. Some of them in really, really nice condition. Like this ace is really nice. Some of these are really nice. Some of them in really poor condition. But, you know, so like I always have a little bit of an investing lens when I buy these because I don't want to get, pay a lot of money for something I'll never be able to sell if I want to trade out. But for something like this, like I love the mixed bag. And I love just seeing all these different issues and like even the different sizes. Like I did not know this was going to be so tiny, but just a cool little card there. So a bunch of different Sachins. And then there's some more Sachins in here. So here's some 2012 Kohli Golds. So this seller is the same guy I bought the boxes from. So I believe he's opened a lot of these boxes himself. So he's got a lot of singles. So he sold me some of these Kohli Golds. He also had some older Sachins as well. So these are Mentos. Another Mentos here. Center Fresh. You see that number 60 there. There's some other Center Freshes over in this group. I really like working with this seller. He's got just a ton of inventory. Sells it to me for reasonable prices. Not price gouging. Some of the Indian sellers, they probably charge 10 times as much if they get the feeling that you're overseas and potentially have a bit of more money to spend. But this guy's awesome. He doesn't charge me more than, I'm sure he upcharges me a little bit. But always packages well. Sends me some really cool stuff. These are the Sachin 2012 limited edition, which you can't get from the regular boxes. So I bought 4 of these off of them. These are a lot more rare than the other Sachin 2012 Gold. So those are nice condition. Happy to get those. And then I also wanted to share, in the earlier video I talked about how the 2014 ICC Worlds have some special rookies in there. Let me just show you these. So Kane Williamson. He's arguably the greatest New Zealand batter of all time, and that's saying a lot because there's some great ones like Martin Crowe. So again, this guy had opened a lot of packs, so he had extra singles of a lot of the players. And I don't know if in India they really care much about rookies, or frankly even some of these players. I know there's a lot of folks that collect Sachin cards, and they collect a lot of the cards from the 90s. But, not a lot of guys collecting like Kane Williamson rookies, right? Or like even caring about Kane Williamson rookies or Joe Root. But I am a big fan of these. I think that, if you're talking about potentially the legends of this era, in the same breath of a Kohli, right, or a Sachin, like that level of player, why wouldn't you want to have their rookies is kind of the way I look at it. So, he had some extras of these that he sold me for a really reasonable price. So I was happy to get those. And then And again, I mentioned this in the previous video, Joe Root has the best chance of anybody that's still playing to actually break Sachin's record for most runs. And he's already surpassed 10,000 runs. There's some great players that are saying that Joe Root can actually do it. So, who knows if he'll do it, but if he even retires as one of the top 3 or 4 run scorers of all time, he's currently the best batter in the world, or maybe second best. So, why not pick those up? And then the other guy, Rahul, in the Indian Premier League history, you've got some really fantastic batters. Chris Gale, A.B. de Villiers, Kohli, guys like that. None of those guys averaged 40 per match. In the 2020 format, even averaging 30 is really, really good. So guys like Chris Gale and A.B. de Villiers averaged like 39, right? This guy, Rahul, is averaging 48 for his whole career. He already has as many hundreds, or close to as many hundreds, as like all those great players, and he's only 30 years old. So this guy could potentially go down as, the greatest batter statistically in the history of the Indian Premier League. So just cool. And these are his rookies as far as I can tell. This is the other set from 2014, the IPL 2014 set, as opposed to, this one, which is the World 2020. So hopefully you guys learned something from this. I've been learning on this journey. Really excited about these old Indian issues of Sachin. He got a lot of cards issued around this time. These all probably were between, let's say, 98 and the early 2000s. Hope you enjoyed.